Okay, this is Jeff Andersen, and we're doing more Bigfoot interviews, and I'm here today with Wayne, who lives in the area of Pennsylvania, and Wayne had contacted our page. Hello, Wayne. How are you?
I'm fine, Jim. Jeff, how are you?
Good. And we're talking to you about a sighting you had back in, I think you mentioned it was 1991. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 91.
And before we start, you tell us about this sighting you had. How come you're contacting us now so late after the fact? Have you kept this a secret on your own? Have you told others about it, or?
I've told a couple others, but just regular people. I just think that somebody with some expertise and knowledge about it, should know what transpired.
Great. Well, we appreciate your reaching out to us, and you did send an email to Jack Barnes, and we've had a chance to talk to you. So go ahead and, for the listeners, just describe what you noticed back in 1991.
Okay. Well, I was traveling eastbound on I-80, and I came over the rise in a small hill there, and there was a car about maybe 300 yards, quarter mile or less in front of me, and just to the right of that car in the median, which is, I don't know, maybe about 20 yards, 30 yards wide, I noticed a brown object, like just sitting there or whatever, and as the car started to make a right-hand turn, like a sweeping right-hand turn, following the highway, this thing sort of rose up, but it was still kind of hunched over, like, I didn't know what it was, and it kind of paralleled the car, still staying in the median for maybe 10 feet, 20 feet. It was hard to tell at that distance. But as soon as the car got sort of past it, it stood up, and it walked from the median across the road. It was angling away from me at the time, and I just, I'm traveling 60, 65, and it was going away from me. It crossed the highway maybe 5 or 6 steps and stepped over the guardrail and down the hill. And when I got to where it was, I stopped my vehicle, and I got out as quick as I could and walked around into the guardrail. Mm-hmm. It was downhill at about 70 feet, 80 feet. There was a wood line, and it was just disappearing into the wood line right there. Just a huge, huge thing.
What time of day was it?
It's about 3:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. So 3:30 in the afternoon, you're traveling on a highway about 65 miles an hour, and you see some shadowy figure. You said it was in the median of the highway?
Yeah. There was like maybe a 20, 30-yard stretch of median there. It was on a slight slope there. Mm-hmm. The westbound lane is higher than the eastbound lane in that particular area, and it was just right there, and it just sort of hunched. I saw it rise,
Did the other car see it to your knowledge? Did you sense they swerved or slowed down? Or
No, there was no brake lights that came on that vehicle. I don't think that driver saw that. Mm-hmm. He just kept going, I mean, it was just massive. I was only, when I saw it, when it stepped over the guardrail, I was maybe 80 yards from it, 100 yards from it.
Mm. So across in front of your car, correct?
Yeah.
How far from your car was it when it crossed in front?
Well, when it started to cross the highway, I was maybe about 250 yards from it, to maybe 300 yards. Mm-hmm. It just glided, like it didn't take anything for it to cross the road. It just glided effortlessly right across the road, over the guardrail.
So then, did you pull over to the side of the road to see where it went?
Yeah. When it stepped over the guardrail there, when I got to around that area, I stopped right at the right spot. I got out of my car as quick as I could and ran around to the back of it, and it was like right down the bottom of the hill. It was only 80 feet, 85 feet. Just a huge, huge thing.
What would you estimate the height of that Bigfoot to be?
I'm 7.5, 8.5 feet, I would say, easily.
Did it notice you, Wayne?
No, it never looked in my direction. I didn't see the face. I saw the legs, just the mass in the legs. You could see the muscle move on them, and like the lats and stuff. Its arms were sort of like not bent, but sort of like it was like leaning forward, and its arms were just kind of like reaching in the air, Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't a swinging motion. It was just like I don't know how you describe it. It's just amazing.
So just to recap again, the median, was it a wooded, like trees, or was it wide open spaces, or describe that?
No, the median there were some small shrubs and trees and brush there. It was starting like into a wider area, like, you know, like a bigger wooded area. It was right on the, I don't know how the guy didn't see it, or he didn't want to stop. I don't know. But it was right, you know, right at the edge of the wood line there in the median, you know, in the median area. I mean, it sort of rose and followed the car for a little bit, you know. It stayed in the median area for like maybe 20 feet, 10, 20 feet, and then it just, after that car got past it and started to go and, you know, follow the highway to the right, it just stood up and walked right across the road, like going away from me, like if it knew I was coming, you know.
Interesting. So it almost paced with the other cars that passed. It ran behind it, but in front of your car, and crossed over it. And did it jump over the guardrail, you said, or stepped over it, or?
No, it just stepped right over it, like how you and I would step over, like
you step on it and launch yourself over it, right?
Yeah, well, it didn't touch the guardrail. It just stepped right over it, like the legs sort of like, it not splayed out, but kind of twisted out like a little bit, you know. Now, the left leg went first. I couldn't see it as well, and then the right leg came up behind it, you know. Just you could just see the mass in it, just the muscle in it moving, you know, just absolutely amazing.
So describe how you felt when you were looking at a Bigfoot walking away from you. Was it fear, or was it just total disbelief, or what was you feeling? Just
awe, shock and awe, just awe, just amazed. You know, I've never seen anything like that, you know. You know, and I mean, it's just amazing, just absolutely amazing thing.
What color was it?
It was sort of like a chocolatish brown, like a chocolatish blackish color, sort of. I was thinking about it, sort of like a Hershey's chocolate, that dark Hershey's chocolate they make. Sort of like that. And the hair kind of laid flat on it, like it wasn't hairy. You know, it was just bulk. Yeah. Just mass, you know, just huge. And the head was just sort of squat to the shoulders, like there wasn't any neck on it, like per se, you know, that you could really make out on it. It was like forward of the shoulders, like.
You know, that point, it walks away, then what do? You get back in your car? Do you wave down other cars, or what happens next?
Well, there was nobody coming up behind me. I stood there for like maybe 30 seconds, and I figured, well, I'm going to get the heck out of here, you know. You know, there was nobody else around. And
so you felt fear at that point? You decided that you were afraid, or what was your...
Yeah, just like, well, yeah, what the heck, you know? You know, what was that? Yeah. you know, just, I don't know how to tell you. It's just, you know, whoa.
Well, what you're describing is pretty common. Of course, spoken to other people that eyewitnesses, and you said shock and awe is something people often describe, where they feel like they're almost stunned as they look up at this large, basically, beast or human or whatever you describe it. But most people cannot. They retell it. They look at you and they say you cannot believe how big this thing was. So it's like you felt the same way.
You know, I've told some people about it. They're not real. You know, well, I can tell you undoubtedly that they are. I mean, I saw it. You know, I know it had to weigh over 600 pounds, easy. Wow, easy. It was just huge, just massive.
Have you gone in the woods since to see if you could recreate this kind of event?
No. A friend of mine lives on a nearby ridge. You know, we walk those woods once in a while. But no, I don't actually go looking for the guy.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't want to find one. I really wouldn't.
Really? Even after you've had the wonderful opportunity to see one from a distance, you wouldn't want to recreate that or have that happen again?
Maybe recreate it if I know that's a guy in a suit, you know. You know, but no, I don't think I'd want to do that again. I mean, to see it at a distance is one thing, but like close like that, That's just amazing. It was just huge, Jeff. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the shoulders were just so broad on the thing, and the arms were just thick. You know, just like as thick as your thigh. Just, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall you are.
Never heard
I don't know
before.
how tall you are.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, just absolutely massive. Just you could just see the muscle move on it. You know.
Well, you're a lucky man. So what?
It was amazing.
What's next? You're not actively looking, but it sounds like you must be online. Are you engaged with the Facebook page to learn from others?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I check out the Facebook pages on Bigfoot and Sasquatch and stuff. Yeah. It's amazing. And I just thought that maybe somebody should know about it. That it has some credibility with it, and I just wanted to tell my story.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that, and that's really what the page is about. We're here to, get real eyewitness accounts, and of course, video. We have a lot of videos that we've analyzed. Some are great, some are better than others, and some are not so great. But we're always looking for these descriptions, these key insights that you're bringing to us. I mean, just the description of the muscle, the mass, the size, the fact that you really don't want to go out in the woods and see another one. You've seen enough. That's amazing. There are a lot of people probably jealous of you on this page that they would love to recreate that experience. But
no, well, I don't know. That's enough proof for me. That's all I need.
Well, Wayne, we appreciate it for contacting us and sharing that. And if you have another one, let us know.
Oh, I'll certainly do that. I appreciate talking to you, Jeff. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and yours. And
we appreciate that too.
Facebook, find Bigfoot.